Please click like and subscribe below because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 53. This is our third lesson in our first review. Before we start today's lesson, let's read and discuss paragraph 3 in the review. It is not necessary to cover the comments that follow each idea either literally or thoroughly in the practice periods. Try, rather, to emphasize the central point and think about it as part of your review of the idea to which it relates. After you have read the idea and the related comments, the exercises should be done with your eyes closed and when you are alone in a quiet place, if possible. Let's talk about it. While the previous paragraph told us that we should consider the comments in our review, we are looking to see what the main idea is and to think about that. And then we should simply sit with our eyes closed and allow the main idea to sink deep into our consciousness. Let's go ahead and read lesson 53. Today we will review the following. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane, and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. Let's talk about it. What is producing this world is insane. I project all of my upset, all of my pain, all of my prejudices out onto the world that I see. And in that way, I create a meaningless world. Reality, on the other hand, is not insane. This is thinking with God's mind and seeing with God's eyes. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. All of the lessons are about being aware of our thoughts and continually bringing ourselves back to center, bringing ourselves back to God. Review of lesson 12. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking. And chaos has no laws. I am grateful that this world is not real and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. This particular thought really helps me whenever I hear what's going on in the news. That is just full of insanity, isn't it, my friends? And I don't need to get hung up on that. It doesn't matter whether it's happening in my own town, my own city, my own country, or someone else's country. There is a lot of insanity. If the whole world understood that we are one with God and one with all of creation, there would be no need for all of the fighting and arguing and wars and demonstrations. All of the upset that is going on in the world is caused because we think that we are separate from others. We create this illusion of good guys and bad guys, and of course, we're always on the good guys team. Review of lesson 13. A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it is completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope, but such a world is not real. I have given it the illusion of reality, and I have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear because I am acknowledging that it does not exist. When we remove ourselves from the world and we are literally walking with God in all circumstances, then we can literally laugh at the insanity of the world. We do not need to be emotionally and psychologically caught up in the insanity of the world. Review of lesson 14. God did not create a meaningless world. How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning And everything that is real is in His mind. It is in my mind too, because He created it with me. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts when the perfection of creation is my home? Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide. These lessons are so powerful. I can make a choice. I do not have to accept the insanity of the world. I am literally an idea in the mind of God, and so are you, my friends. We abide in the mind of God. This is where our home is. This is where reality is. We can choose to live there all day long. We don't have to pay attention to the insanity of the world. Review of Lesson 15. My thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I am seeing only the representation of my insane thoughts and am not allowing my real thoughts to cast their beneficent light on what I see. Yet God's way is sure. The images I have made cannot prevail against Him because it is not my will that they do so. My will is His, and I will place no other gods before Him. This lesson helps me be aware any time that I am caught up in what has happened in the past or what might happen in the future. Sadness about what happened in the past leads to depression, and worry about what might happen in the future leads to anxiety. We do not need to live in either one of those two worlds if we stay focused on what is happening in the present. My thoughts are images that I have made. Let's talk about our practice sessions for today. We are asked to read or listen to all 5 of the day's lessons, first thing in the morning and last thing at night. In addition, we want to remember our hourly practice sessions in which we choose one idea each hour and simply review that and take a minute or two and allow it to sink deep into our consciousness. We want to try to include every idea in today's lesson in our practice sessions at least once. After we have done that, we can simply include the ideas that most appeals to us. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. Are you ready for our special treat? No pescado? No pescado?
No.
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 Ahora no. A day of thinking with God's mind and seeing with God's vision, my friends. I love you.